UFC 308 has just been announced. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway for the main event in Abu Dhabi. Brilliant fight. Then we have, check this out, Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. So just a few months after defeating Aliskerov in a devastating knockout, he's gonna get the fight that was originally proposed, the original fight, him versus Khamzat Chimaev. And it's going to be interesting to see how the two fights compare. If Chimaev will have learned from any mistakes Ikram made, or saw what Robert Whittaker did, and is going to be more careful because of that. But being careful isn't in Khamzat Chimaev's blood, so I doubt that's going to be a big factor. I think he'll be just as aggressive as always. And it's going to be interesting to see how that fight develops, how that fight turns out. It's going to be interesting to see who the favorite is. I'm going to have to check the odds. But it's probably still going to be Khamzat Chimaev, right? If the fight ever happens though, because Chimaev has been, well, it's not just him, I was about to say he's been pulling out left, right and center, but it's also been his opponents, because Paulo Costa pulled out of his, not his last fight, but the fight before. Whether it's illness, COVID or whatever, he's been having issues. Hopefully Chimaev comes back with a bang and he starts living the fighter's career, the professional career we always imagined he would have, with him fighting 3 times a year. But 2 times a year would be progress, so 2 times a year would be an improvement. Then we have a fight we've already seen, Ciryl Gane versus Volkov. Ciryl Gane won last time, but Volkov has improved a lot. He's looking to be a new evolved version of Volkov that keeps learning all the time and keeps improving. So it's going to be, but Ciryl Gane, maybe he's improved his wrestling too. So it's going to be interesting to see who evolved the most, and if Volkov has evolved more, and this time Volkov's going to win. But maybe not, Ciryl Gane might win, so let's see. And then we also have, who do we have? We have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander, we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Great fight, but I was about to say it's surprising it's not Alex Pereira, but it's not surprising because Pereira said he's been fighting really often and now he wants a lot of months to, not to rest, but to evolve, because when you're training for a camp, it's just doing drills and sparring. But when you have lots of months to evolve, you can experiment and try new things. So he's looking to try new things and develop his game before he gets in the octagon again. So Magomed Ankalaev is still not fighting for a title, but it's understandable because he did have a couple of no contests that have set him back, and he was lucky. And in a few of those fights, he was lucky that they ended up, one of them, he was lucky that it was a no contest and not a disqualification. So you could argue he's unlucky, but you can also argue he's very lucky. But yeah, I do want to, Alexander Rakic, he was beating the crap out of Yuri Prohaska in the first round until Prohaska willed himself in the second round to just march through all of Rakic's blaze of strikes and violence, grit his teeth and just land them knockout blows that would finish Rakic. So Rakic versus Magomed Ankalaev, will Rakic survive the wrestling? Will it even go to the wrestling? Because Ankalaev stood with Jan Blachowicz on the feet for the first 2 rounds. So maybe Ankalaev will stand with Rakic in the first 2 rounds as well, and maybe that's to Rakic's advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, amazing fights. UFC 308, Abu Dhabi, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. It's going to be amazing. Like and subscribe.